tax plan is going to tax me more, isn't it?
It's not that I want to punish your success. I just want to make sure that everybody who is behind you, that they've got a chance at success too. I think when you spread the wealth around, it's good for everybody.
Well, that line has dominated the headlines over the past few days. You spread the wealth around, it's good for everybody. That was what Barack Obama said, speaking to the now famous Joe the Plumber. The Democratic candidate continuing to push a plan that will heavily tax 5% of the population, but not the other 95%. John McCain firing back, now saying that there's a name for that kind of wealth redistribution: socialism. So does the American public think Obama's tax plan is a good idea? Well, new poll info from Rasmussen Reports. Take a look at this. 44% agree with Obama's statement on spreading the wealth, while 42% disagree that it's good for everybody. Here now with all the new numbers, Scott Rasmussen from Rasmussen Reports. Hi, Scott.
Hey, Megan.
Okay, so it's pretty close there. 44% agree, 42% disagree. Does that break down along class lines, financial income? How does that break down?
It breaks down along all the lines you expect it to. Republicans disagree strongly. Democrats agree. People who make less than $40,000 a year agree with Barack Obama. Those who make more than $40,000 a year disagree. Entrepreneurs really dislike the idea. Government employees don't think it's so bad.
All right, and I love this. You actually did polling on Joe the Plumber. This is what it's come to. And people have strong opinions on him, don't they?
They do. It's 44% have a favorable opinion, 41% have an unfavorable view, 15% don't have any opinion yet. But again, here there's a tremendous demographic breakdown among middle-class voters, those who are between, in our poll, $40,000 and $100,000 a year, really like Joe the Plumber. 58% have a favorable opinion. Those who make less than $40,000 or more than $100,000 a year aren't so keen on him.
Really? How do you explain that? How do you explain people? How do you explain people making more than $100,000 a year not liking Joe the Plumber, and people at the lower end not liking him?
Well, I suspect that his comments, and it's no longer just the individual. He's been thrust into the presidential campaign, and I think his comments tended to reflect some middle-class frustration with the campaign, and people who are in a different status have a different view. And again, if you think about those lower-income voters who don't like Joe the Plumber, they're also the ones who like Barack Obama's line.
That is fascinating. Joe said he thought he'd be in the headlines for a day, maybe two, and then that'd be it. Now you've got Scott Rasmussen of all people polling on you. Fascinating. Okay, wait. Let's move on. You also polled on another issue that has become very important to our viewers, and that is Acorn and voter fraud. What'd you find?
Well, 45% believe that Acorn is consciously trying to register people illegally. There's more concern across the country about people who shouldn't vote actually voting than there is about any kind of voter suppression. And overall, Acorn's numbers are a lot weaker than Joe the Plumber's. 21% have a favorable opinion of the group, 60% unfavorable.
All right, now I got to go, but I know your latest daily tracking poll shows Obama up by 4 points. That sounds like a slimmer margin than he's had recently with you, Scott. Am I wrong?
It's been tightening just a little bit, Megan. It's 4 points or 5 points most of the time now. It used to be a 5 to 8 point margin.
Well, we'll stay on it. Scott Rasmussen's got the latest numbers for you, RasmussenReports.com. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Megan.